Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode, the latest episode of Live with Kai. Kyrus Has Friends, the show where I prove that I have one or two friends that may or may not like me. Today, we have a really, really special guest in the house today, but before we get to her, I just want to let you know if you're interested in anything that you're watching right now, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram at The Vibe with Kai. You can also follow me on Snapchat at Kyrus Keenan, and I do have a policy that if you send me a smile via Snapchat, I promise you that at some point that day, I will send a smile back. I'm all about sharing smiles, so please make sure you send your smiles because that actually makes my day a whole lot better as well. And then, of course, you can follow me on TikTok at Kyrus Keenan. I go live every Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. and we have fun, we groove, we jam, we do all of that. We have a grand old time every Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then all of that, if you want to visit my website, you can visit it at thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting something. Always something that'll make you feel good, something that'll make you do good, make you be good, all of that jazz. That's how we roll at The Vibe. So with that said, without any further ado, we have a special guest in the house today. A special guest, my good friend Yvette Temple, destined to shine. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
How are you? How's it going? How's your day going?
It's going pretty good. We're making it through.
We are making it through. And you know what? Listen, I feel like you and we've probably known each other for a grand total of what, 2-3 weeks? I feel like like a month, maybe.
A little bit longer than that.
Yeah, like a month. But I feel like I've known you for like years, right? Because so for those of you that don't know, I'm one of those people that signed up for. I had the TikTok for quite some time, but I only like used it for research purposes because I'm the director of social media for a marketing firm, so I needed to know what TikTok was about and blah blah. But I wasn't ever planning on putting up any videos. And then quarantine started, and then I started posting like 1 or 2 videos, and then people started like hitting the like button, and I was like, that's nice, I like that feeling. And then I ended up making friends, and one of the first people that became my TikTok friend was you, and I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for like just taking the time to be here, honestly.
Yes, no, thank you for inviting me because, you know, we're all same kind of story happened with me, but no, I just got on TikTok in November and I didn't put any videos up for a couple of months. And then I came across you with that smile and I'm like, who is this dude with this big bright smile? I'm like, what? And every video was a smile and every video was something fun and every video I was like, okay.
Yeah. So
I gotta follow.
We're gonna get into TikTok because we have there's so much stuff about TikTok that I want to get into. But let me just tell people a little bit about you that may not be familiar with who you are. So you are what we call an educator, obviously, because you are a teacher. We'll get into that. And you're also you have a thing called being a teacherpreneur. I think I said that right?
Yes.
So tell us about you. Who are you, and what are you all about?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
That could be a loaded question. The TikTok.
So you live in Florida.
Yes.
And tell people
my name is
what part
Yvette.
of Florida.
I live in Florida. I'm a native Floridian, which most people find really weird down here, especially in South Florida, because we're the snowbird capital. Like
because like people come down to like visit and then stay, or they retire there, like all that.
Yeah, or they have their winter home is here. They stay for a few months. And then when winter's over up north, they go back north. So they're snowbirds. Yeah. So I'm a native Floridian, been here all my life. I'm a school teacher. I've been teaching for 27 years down here in South Florida. Ready for retirement?
Ooh, that's so exciting. So how much longer until you retire?
We can retire. Full retirement is at 30 years.
Okay. And how long are you now?
27.
27, a couple more years and you're there.
Come on, baby, pushing it.
But hey, who's counting, right? Who's counting?
Me. I'm counting.
Wait, so what made you decide to get into teaching? Like, did you always want to be a teacher, like growing up? Is that something you've always wanted?
I didn't realize it until I was in college and I had changed my major already like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, "Girl, you got to get this together." You got to get this together. So it was that walk on campus that I had that talk with myself, that conversation. It was like, what is it you really like doing? What do you enjoy? And I had to think back to like the types of jobs I had already had. And it took me all the way back to when I was about 15, 16. I always worked at a summer camp at a school with younger children. Da-da. And there it happened. I switched my major yet again to elementary education. I loved it. And I thought, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Well, it's kind of been the rest of my life, but you know, when I first started teaching, retirement was 20 years. So I'm like, I'm going to do my 20. And then somewhere along the line, they upped it to 30. I was like, what? What?
You're like, wait, hold on. Can I still do the 20?
But then it's like, for me to retire at 30, I'm still going to be too young for Social Security. I was like, I don't even care. I can still work. I can do something else. Just give me my money. I can go.
Well, that's so, one of the great things I love about what you do, like on TikTok, is that, like, obviously, like you've been in the game for a while, but you try to educate other teachers and to like bring them up with you. You know, it's not just like, hey, every man for himself kind of thing. Like, you do what you can to bring other teachers up, you know, alongside you. Do you work closely? Like, obviously it's a little difficult now given the quarantine, but like before the quarantine, did you work closely with like the younger teachers, and do they come to you for advice on a lot of things?
All young, older, whatever. I've been a mentor teacher to lots of teachers, and I've even found some here on I mean, not here, but on TikTok, that are like new teachers that are seeking advice and want help with how have you lasted this long? And because statistically, new teachers only they stay around for 3 to 5 years and they're out. They switch careers. It's tough. It's tough. So I've been a mentor to quite a number of teachers over the years. Yes.
Right. So I guess you found TikTok and you use it in a way to the word you use is teacherpreneur, right? So what is that to you? Like, what is that, and what message are you trying to get out to people with that phrase?
A teacherpreneur is just a teacher that is an entrepreneur outside of the classroom. So what I do is show them how they can transition all those things they do in the classroom, all those skills, into a business. We're like the biggest CEOs walking on the planet, but a lot of us don't realize it.
Right.
And it took me a long time, 14, year 15, year 18, year 20, to go, wait a minute. And then this thing called the internet like changed the game.
Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit.
Just a tad, just a little bit.
So what is it like being a teacher during quarantine? Like, how, like, what, because obviously this is something new. This is new territory for everybody involved, especially teachers, you know, with like home learning now and all of that. Given your status, you know, what is it, how much of a big change is this for you, and how crazy is it?
It can really be crazy. It's hectic. I would rather do what I do in my classroom with my students, because right now we're locked to the computer, which is not good for your health anyway. You're just sitting all day.
Right.
Teachers love children. We love engaging with children. We love talking with them. We love doing what we do. It's our superpower, as we say. And it's hard to do that the way we do through the internet, through the computer, through the telephone. I mean, it can be done. Don't trust me, it can. But it's not the same. We like engaging. So for me, because my business is online, I'm accustomed to working online. I'm not accustomed to teaching children per se online. It's a lot more work because everything is virtual. We do our faculty meetings virtual. You have IEP meetings virtual. You know, so your day is not really your day. When you got in, just like everybody else, you get in your car and you go to your job, it's not the same.
Right.
So
Right.
everything is on the computer, which luckily for me, I know how to do a few things on the computer. But those people who have never sat in front of the camera, who've been scared to even do a TikTok or do a Facebook Live, now they have to give instruction over the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be a hiccup for a lot of
Right.
people to kind of transition into this platform, and we
Right.
don't know how long we're going to be here.
Right. Is your school district already pretty much planning to go until like go virtual in the fall as well at this point?
We just had a meeting today. We don't know yet, but they're making they have plan A, plan B. So
Mm-hmm.
they're looking at a few different things right now. So we just don't know yet.
Right. Now, one thing that has always, I haven't delved too deeply into this, but it's something that I think about a lot. But I know that there's a lot of students out there that may not have internet access,
Yeah.
that may like we take this for granted, right? The fact that I have internet access, I have Wi-Fi, I can easily just go online and look up anything in the world. Or I can easily go online and interview you, right? Do you run into any students that kind of run into this issue where it's like, I don't have the internet. What can I do? And it's not like they can go up the streets of the library because the library is closed right now,
Everything's closed.
right? So like, is that an issue like that you've been seeing at all? Like in your area, or maybe around to other teachers that you've been speaking with?
It's been somewhat of an issue here. I think the biggest concern that I had here in my district, even though we donated or let the students borrow computers or Chromebooks from the school, it was only one per household. I know for a fact that I have 3 students in my school. We're middle school, that there's 3 children that are just in the middle school. So how can the 3 of them because they don't have a device, a computer of their own at home, to share one Chromebook? For here, those students here, Comcast, Xfinity, whichever company it was, I think, however they go by, they offer free internet service.
Okay.
But I've talked to teachers on different social media platforms that are in rural areas who don't have, they don't have the capability, they don't have access, and students are even further out, in kind of almost isolated places that they don't have access to internet. So from what I'm hearing is that they have given them somehow gotten them packets of work, like worksheets and things for them to continue working, which makes it difficult because the teachers, they really don't have any access to their teacher then to get any support.
So is there something like, how hopeful are you, or do you feel hopeful, like even though things are like difficult now, right? For teachers, for students, for families, do you feel hopeful coming out of this? Do you think that we're going to come out better, or is this like going to just kind of break everything?
I don't think it's going to break everything. I think we're going to be living in a different society. Everything is going to be different, especially the face of education. For one, I have a very small classroom. Some people's living room is probably bigger than my classroom. And I squeeze about 22 kids in there. Middle school kids are not all small, little, tiny little people. Some of them are much bigger than me. And there's no way we can do social distancing with 22 kids in a room the size of your living room. It just doesn't work. So I don't know what some of the things that I've been hearing about, put the desk 6 feet apart. I don't have desks. I have 4 tables and a little round table in the back corner that I squeeze 22 kids in at. So there's no 6 feet apart. If the tables were 6 feet apart, I probably have 4 kids in my room.
Wow.
So I don't know how they're proposing it. There may be alternative schedules. There may be some online. And I don't know how it's going to work.
I read something online, I think it was today or yesterday, where they were saying how they were recommending that possibly middle school students and high school students kind of switch over to the way things are done for college students, where, instead of having all of the classes all in one day, you have maybe 1, 2, 3 classes in a day. you know, certain days of the week or whatever, you know, that might be something that they might have to consider, and that
Yeah.
may literally change the fabric of middle school and high school forever,
Forever.
which is insane to think about, how it just all of a sudden boom. But like, on the other end, I think that's also something that they might have been recommending anyway. What are your thoughts on that? Like, just being able, if the middle school and high school students were to take on more of a college style setup, you know, allowing them to do more time like during the day to do homework or to study or anything like that, or to go to practice, whatever. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's one of the options that they're looking at in my school district. The problem with that becomes middle schoolers are still tweens.
Hmm.
And I don't know about leaving them at home alone. I don't know about any kids being at home alone nowadays. Um, and it becomes, a lot of them have younger siblings. So how's that gonna work?
Hmm.
So it becomes then the home issue. Like, because a lot of parents like, okay, I go to work, you go to school. You go to school, this is what I do during the day, you do that during the day. So they see school as like, my kids are there, they're safe, I know where they are. You know, it takes care of that child care kind of issue, even though we're not like the daycare.
Right.
We're not the babysitters, but it takes care of that, and it helps families to be able to go out to work. So I think that's going to be a bigger issue when it comes to middle school and high school.
I got you. I got you. Now, I want to talk about like what and who inspires you, right? Because I know from what I see on TikTok, like you take the position of trying to touch as many people as possible, trying to spread positivity and just a good vibe message in general, and just, you know, you talk about my smile, but you do the same thing. You know, you spread like this really really positive energy, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put your TikTok name down at the bottom here so that people can, you know, go and
Okay,
follow you. But
thanks.
who or what inspires you to do what you do every day? Because like, this is a lot. You don't have to do this, right? But you chose to, and I feel like that comes from somewhere. What made you do that, and why?
Made me do,
Just like to inspire people every day on a daily basis. Like,
um
is it a person? Is it like something that happened?
it's there have been a few defining moments,
Hmm.
but I can tell you that I am inspired by Michelle Obama.
That's my girl. Oh my God, that woman. Please come back. Come back
They
into my
haven't
life.
gone anywhere. They
I
haven't
know
gone
she's
anywhere.
still here, but good Lord, I love her so much.
I've always been inspired by Oprah.
Hmm.
I mean, because these are strong African American women who, without a doubt, have gone through some things
Hmm.
and have reached levels in their lives that some of us can only dream of. But we are glad to have them there
Hmm.
to say, look, if I can do it, you can do it.
You're right. Right.
But
Yeah.
while you're doing it, help somebody else, inspire somebody else.
Yes.
Each one, teach one.
Hmm. Absolutely. Because
You
so
know I
'cause-
love Maya Angelou.
oh, absolutely. You know, I do too. What. So one of the first like extensive conversations that you and I ever had was about, you know, Maya Angelou, and you know, because for those of you that don't know, like on TikTok, like you can go live, and when I go live, I usually will tend to focus on a different artist or musician, poet, usually. And we did a Maya Angelou night, and that was one of my favorite nights. It was
Mhm.
just so nice because I think there were a lot of teachers in that live as well. You know, just kind of just sitting there and just talking about like poetry and how these poets are able to put into words how we feel, because sometimes
Yeah,
we just don't know how to like say what we feel. But somebody like
yeah.
Maya Angelou, she just had a way with words, and it's beautiful. Is so you have Michelle Obama, you have Oprah, you have Maya Angelou, and you every day you take this inspiration and you go on TikTok. I want to talk about TikTok. You go on there and you spread this positive message. So, how has the TikTok life been for you? Has it been fascinating? Has it been
Dude.
fun?
Now, Michelle, Oprah, and Maya, like I know them personally, right? I'm
Yeah, I
calling
was
them
about
by their
to
first name.
say.
Like, come on. No, my girls. But no. Like TikTok, I don't know. It was fun. It was actually my students. Well, no, let me back up. it was Gary V who said, if you are in network marketing, if you are whatever, you need to be on TikTok. So it's the same story as Joe. So that's when I opened my account to kind of check out what it was. And then a couple of my students had earned lunch with the teacher. And they were like, Miss Temple, let's do a TikTok. And I'm like, I don't know any of those dances. They're like, we'll teach you. We'll teach you. So I did the first TikTok with them, which is not on my page. Of course, it was on their page.
Right.
And I was like, okay, let me see. They're like, I said, tag me. And they went, you have a TikTok? Ta-da! And then that's how it started. So it started. My initial thought when I first heard of TikTok was like, I can use this to reach more teachers. I know, because the whole thing about being a teacherpreneur is, number one, in the US, teachers are so underpaid. There have been strikes all over this country. Negotiations fall through. Politicians don't want to get up off the money, or they're trying to privatize public education. So it's like, okay, if you won't give us the money, we can make our own. We need to know how to start making our own. And that's what I do as a teacherpreneur coach. So that's why I got on TikTok, to kind of reach out to more teachers, to build a teacherpreneur community on TikTok. But I got caught up in the fun.
I see you up there dance. Let me tell you. So when you and I first started talking, one of the first things I said, I'm like, I'm not doing any of those dances. I'm not doing it. And you're like, no, just do one. And then now I see you up there dancing. I'm like, well, I'm gonna do one too. Now look at me now. I'm up there doing these dances, man. Oh,
you got your favorite.
I have go-to dances now. I just learned, my roommate G and I, we just learned the Savage dance. I'm not gonna do it, but I learned it.
Oh.
I learned it. But it's funny because TikTok, it's so much fun. I mean, like, there are moments where negativity just seems to take over. But like 98% of the time, it's just a really fun app to connect with people, and you've met teachers from around the world, right?
It's crazy.
And like, how is that to be able to communicate with teachers that are not only in the United States but all over the globe? What is that like? How awesome is that?
It's because now you get to not just compare and contrast, you network, which is the one piece of social media that people kind of about. You can't leave that piece out. But TikTok is so it's infectious. Like, you meet so many people from everywhere. So it's good to hear about like what they're doing in the classroom, how distance learning is working for them. Are you seeing the same types of things that I'm seeing? How are your kids responding? And so we get to see a broader picture of what education looks like in other places.
Right. That's fascinating.
And I think one thing about, well, just me, I just keep it real. Like, I'm not gonna get I'm Susie Sunshine, come follow my TikTok. That's not me.
Right.
I'm not that girl.
Right.
That's not me.
No, you are. I can personally attest. You are 100% you. Like, every TikTok that I see you up there, whether it's dancing, whether it's you keeping it real, like, you always are you. And I feel like sometimes people get on TikTok or on any social media platform that they're trying to grow, I feel like sometimes they get caught up in creating some persona that's not them. And that may work for a little bit, but then you end up living a lie. And like,
then they get stuck and say, I can't think of any more content to create. Well, that's because you're being fake.
Right. If you just be you and you don't worry about the numbers or anything like that, you just like, I have a really important mantra. Every time that I create a TikTok, I always say to myself, it doesn't matter how many people see it. If I can make one person smile, if I can make one person's day better, then it's worth it. If more people see it, great. But if not, it's not the end of the world, because I'm not going to judge the quality of my life based on whether
likes.
Right. I'm not going to do that. It's not healthy. And we already live in that kind of social media society where everything is judged by how many people have liked us, how many people have commented. And then, and I work in marketing. It's like all that drives it,
Yes.
And it's not healthy. Is that something, like, when you're coming up with ideas for what to put up on TikTok, what goes through your mind, like, as you're making them?
I've really kind of started out following the trends, but lately it is kind of where when the light bulb came on, because I got to like 20,000 followers in like 56 days, and I was like, wait, whoa. I had one video when I did in January, like hit 1 million views, and I'm like, but I don't want to be known as the TikTok dancing teacher. I don't want to be that. That's not why I'm here. But yeah,
yeah, no, trust me, I get it.
Become like, so people are asking, oh, do at me, do this, do that. So it's no, you can't get caught up in the numbers. And I was like, I had to say, wait, whoa, slow down, because this is not what you came to TikTok for. It's great, but get back to your purpose, your mission for being here. So I still try to do that. And now with this whole music copyright thing, I got to be more careful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still trying to do that, but I think I'm still kind of new to TikTok because I only started putting videos up in January.
Right.
So I'm still finding my way on what type of content that I should put out. So I do a variety of things. Same.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I try to hit up a little bit of everything, because like there's so many different directions you can head in, right? And I mean I try not to overthink it, and I'll just, like, if I come up with an idea, I'll just do it. Like but like my main thing is, like, I want to make people smile. So like if there's one overarching theme for me, it's just like nothing negative. No matter what it is, if it's a dancing one, if it's a inspirational quote, whatever it is, just nothing negative. Because there's, that when you're scrolling through, you see some negative stuff on there. You see bullying on there. You see
it happened today. But
yes, why don't you tell people what happened today with you, which is, it blows my mind. But yes. Ooh, deep breaths. Okay.
Okay, so I had this idea back in January or February. I told the teacher that's next door to me, I said, you know what, I think I want to do this series called Teacher Truth Bombs, and just tell like teacher stories about what happens in the classroom, my point of view. 27 years, I got a lot of stories I can tell. So the Teacher Truth Bombs, it's just, I kept seeing comments and things and posts on different social media platforms about if we're teaching our kids, why are teachers still being paid? We should be getting the teacher pay. Why are they still being paid during quarantine? I'm teaching my kids. I don't understand. And I was like, wait a minute, wait. So that's a good one. So a lot of times my ideas may come off of things I've seen in other places, or just things that I feel like I want to share with people. So that's what the whole Teacher Truth Bomb. So the TikTok was Teacher Truth Bomb number 4. I can't understand why people are big mad that teachers are still being paid over quarantine. We're still working. So I stated
probably harder now.
In my own way. In my own way. That one, we're contracted employees. We sign a contract every year to work for 10 months. Those 10 months, whether you get paid 10 months or 12 months, you have a contract. So even though we're all quarantined, trust me, we weren't prepared for this. No one was. So my school district actually got a plan in place in 2 weeks. Lesson plans, everything, how to use whatever, for us to get out here and continue teaching for the last 9 weeks of school. Some people didn't get anything. They had to fend for themselves. So the fact that we are still working and teaching is why we're getting paid. Okay. Secondly, the second fact that I mentioned was the lessons just don't appear. We're still you just think something, the teacher fairy or whoever just came and put lessons up on the internet for you. No, we still have to develop lessons, take attendance every day, check in with your kids every day. And that's the hard part about this distance learning, because we're not there with the kids. We don't know. We don't know if your family's been affected by COVID-19.
Right.
We don't know if you lost a loved one. We don't know if your lights are still on, if your kids are still being fed. We don't know if you have internet or a computer. You know, we've done a lot of surveys and asked questions and phone calls. All of this is going out to make sure that all these millions of students across this country can still get some education during this thing. And then that was number 2. So I'm like, we're the ones doing all of that. It's not automated. It's not automated.
Right.
Teachers are still working to produce. And then we have to grade all of the work that your kids are doing.
Right.
Okay. And then, so the second part to that one was, just because we're home, like you're home, it doesn't mean that we're available 24 hours a day for you to email us, text us, call us, and think you're going to get a response. Because I mean, I got emails on Mother's Day. I mean, come on. First of all, it's a Sunday.
Right.
Secondly, it's a holiday. Did you really think I was going to respond to you on? I don't answer on the weekend as it is. Now, just because it's quarantine doesn't
matter. We
have work hours.
Yes.
We're human. We have homes and families and people to take care of as well. So we're human. So yes. So a comment came today that said I should be fired. If you were my child's teacher as a taxpayer, I would have you fired. Really? And that's what I mean about people are big mad. Why are you that mad? Because one, either I could go into a whole lot of reasons, but I won't. I'm trying to contain.
I hear you. I see it. I can see it. I can see it in your eyes.
Okay. But we're still working. That's why we get paid. So see, that's what the teacher truth bomb is. People they think they know what a teacher's job is, but you don't really know all that we do in a day, in a week. I beg of you, come into a school and stay an hour. Stay an hour.
Right.
And tell me, like, but you know what? Better get, you've been home with 2 months with your cherubs.
Right.
How you like me now?
Right. Exactly. Right. That's what. Let me tell you, man. I have a lot of teacher friends, and you know, I think if anything, I've always respected teachers, but I think I found an even more new respect for teachers, because like this is not like, I know it's not easy for the kids, it's not easy for the parents. It certainly isn't easy for the teachers. You know, like, because at the drop of a dime, things that were either set in stone or things that people were used to on all angles just had to be changed. Like mandatory sudden change, and that's not easy. It's not easy. So as a result, a lot of people are on edge, but teachers never forget that the overall goal is to educate the child. That whether it's via the internet or in person or whatever, like at the end of the day, that child has to get
we're offering
educated.
Something, because it could have been where in some places they aren't getting anything. They've been home doing, some kids are not, in some places, are not getting anything for the last 2 months of school. And that's sad.
Right. It's I hope that, I mean, at some point, I know things are never going to be like normal again, but I hope that we find some sense of normalcy soon. You know, whether it's online, whether it's, you know, changing the schedules, whatever it is. I hope we find it, because I think if there's one thing that the world needs right now, it is just a sense of just normalcy, whatever normalcy is.
And you'll hear
like,
the kids
this is what it's
say,
going to be.
The kids will say all the time, if I get on a video with them, I miss coming to school, I miss my friends. So they feel that need to be around, to be social, and to be around their friends, and to be out. And I'm hoping with them, they have a bigger picture of what school is. It's not just a teacher passing out papers and giving you work, because now they actually miss going to school.
Right. I'm so happy that we got to do this today. Like, this is like, this warms my heart.
Me too.
This warms my heart, because you are you started out as my TikTok friend, but I think I can safely say that you are my friend.
Yay! Thank you.
And
That was my first Patti LaBelle song last night.
Patty. Let me tell y'all. So I know I go live, but she also goes live, and I think we're just from the school, like the old school, because like we'll play some stuff, and like some of the young kids that come into our TikToks, they'll be like, what is play? They're like
Cardi B.
Right,
Like, no,
right. Did you see on my live this past Wednesday? Like it was literally titled '90s Night,
yeah,
and people coming in. Let me get some Cardi B?
yeah,
Like,
Cardi B.
pretty sure that's not '90s. Pretty
No,
sure.
honey, this is not the night for that. This is the
No,
grown
not the
folks
night for
night.
that.
This is the
Maybe at
grown
some
folks
point
night.
down the line we'll do today's music, but not right now. This is '90s night. But Yvette, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking
Thank
the
you,
time out
Kai.
of your day to speak with me and all of that. Just to kind of wrap things up, do you have just any pieces of motivation or advice for the people watching that may right now just feel like do you have any just like words of wisdom or just pieces of advice for them?
All I can say is hang in there. It's hang in there. We are going to get through this together. And this is what I found with my friendship with Kai and my other TikTok friends that I've come to know during this time. Like, is you need a community. You need a group of people that you can hang on to help you get through this, because I had my downtime during this time and I did a TikTok about it. I did. I felt it coming and I was like, no. We're not going. Nope. We're
Right.
not going down that road. So you have to have a Kai that you can go watch every day with that gorgeous smile. A Joa Tang who always has something inspirational
Yes,
to
Joe
say.
Tangi. I love him. He's great. He's
Yeah,
fantastic. He's a
you
good guy.
know, whether it's Eric E.T. Thomas, whoever it is, I don't care. Steve Harvey, whoever you like, find you something, someone.
Yes.
Whether you are quarantined at home alone or with your family that's driving you nuts, because my teacher friend, she was driving in the car, she's like, I'm by myself.
It's the small victories, right?
Yeah, she's like, I escaped. You've got to find something positive, some people to hold on to get you through this, because we will come through this on top. We will.
Yes, absolutely. No, I have no doubt. And once again, thank you so much for sitting down with me. For everybody else, if you enjoyed this, once again, please feel free to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Vibe with Kai. Visit my website, thevibewithkai.com. Follow me on Snapchat at Kyrus Keenan. Once again, if you send me a smile, I will send you one right back. And obviously, follow me on TikTok, my favorite new app. Follow me on TikTok at Kyrus Keenan. I go live every Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yvette, thank you again. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Mwah. I love y'all. Everybody, good vibes.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.